Not there yet. What up, fam? We're live on YouTube. We're about to go live on Instagram. Guys, make sure you guys like and share this feed. Like and share this feed. We're live on YouTube and Facebook right here. Now we're going live on Instagram. Natalie's about to join us over there.
Yes.
So, fam, we got a good topic today for Wednesday. So make sure you guys like and share this feed. And post it out. All right. Got a good topic for you today. It's Wednesday. It's your boy Chef Jay and Coach Natalie Lee Martin. Out here in these streets, out here in these virtual streets.
Yes, we do.
Wednesday, it's your boy Chef Jay. What up, fam? How you doing?
Hey, we got a great topic today. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So y'all know, listen, I'm gonna wear this Boss Up shirt out. So you
Boss
already know
Up.
Boss Up Boot Camp was super lit in June. So we had to bring it back for the summer series, which I'm so excited about. We're breaking it down to 4 different sessions, and it's gonna be life changing. So I'm so excited about the Boss Up Boot Camp summer series. Natalie's gonna be on. We have the first one next Tuesday, and then the other one after that's gonna be in 2 more weeks. But next week we got Monique Technique. She's a really well-known hairstylist, celebrity hairstylist, super dope. One of my coaches in business before she even called herself a coach. And then also we have Tashonda Carson coming on. She has a super dope business and she's going to be talking about goal setting. So it's going to be virtual and in person, but we got to get into the nitty-gritty. You ready, Natalie?
I'm ready. I stay ready.
All right. So first off, how was this past week? Like, what was the vibe? What are some like your top 2 accomplishments for this past week since we last spoke?
Okay, so since we last spoke, I had gotten an accountability coach that took us through myself and a few other people a 10-day accelerator.
Okay.
And now this week she's taking us through a 5-day declutter your environment, your home to make space for new. And so I'm working through my kids' closet, my girls' closet, because it is a mess and we're decluttering everything as well as my office. And the accountability was great. It was phenomenal. It really allowed me to show up as a better coach and a better mother. So I am happy for it. Like, my schedule needed some fine tuning and retweaking. And so I did that. And then I ordered this phenomenal new planner. I'm so excited. I'm like a book planner junkie and I haven't found one. I was going to create one, but I finally found one on Amazon. And so it's coming today. So I'm excited about that.
It's nothing like a fresh planner. Like, it's nothing like that fresh planner where you about to plan and get everything together and research your life. Like, there's something strategic about planning. Yes. You know, I think, like, for me, I'm the type where I go with the flow, but sometimes it's like, Jay, you can't always go with the flow. You got to actually plan and sit down and focus because you lose out on the greater picture because you're not taking time to really write out and think about what you think about. Because, you know, in Habakkuk 2, is it 2? Mm-hmm. You know, I know I'm trying to be the Bible scholar like you. It says,
write the vision, make it plain.
You know, and what happens, the reason why a lot of people are going through confusion is because they never take time to write the vision. You know, like they never take time to write the vision and make it plain for themselves. You know, someone said they need to see that planner.
Yes, that's my one of my newest clients, Sonia. She is gonna be came on board with me a few days ago, and so yeah, girl, I'm gonna get you that planner. I want to make sure it's as nice as I say it is, and then I'll send it over to you.
Listen, it's the less connected. Let me tell you about this planner, but that's what it is about though. Like, you know, and planners are so important with writing a vision, make it plain. Like, even too, like, I'm not in Jersey right now, but of course, you know, I'm always working on something. So I have something. I have my manifestation journal that I write, you know, just everything positive in there. I write my faith confessions. And then, of course, I got Tiana, one of my other coaches and one of my really good friends. She has this book called The $1 Million Mindset. It's super dope. But I love the fact that she has like a manual to it so we can really kind of really write these things down, like what you learn, apply directly, because we'll be like a sponge. We'll hear all this information, but we never squeeze it out. So it's just like we never take time to regurgitate what we just learned. So it's like by having a journal or planners like this, you're able to directly apply because now you make it tangible, and that's why that Boss Up journal is so dope at the Boss Up Boot Camp with those aha moments. that I got from Dr. Stacia is because now what you learned, you were able to write it down, and then Natalie came through with the aha moments, and she just came
Listen,
and wrote like, forget everybody else knows. Let me tell you
I
what my
know
notes are.
I got my own.
Listen,
It
forget
was
y'all
so
notes.
good. It was so good. It was
Yeah,
definitely
but
good.
I think that's dope. So this past week, what I've been working on is being more intentional about my time.
Hmm.
Uh, like for example, is I'm like Jay, like why don't you have your e-courses ready? It
Hmm.
takes you're always filming. Take time to make your stuff, and I've been really more interested about my content as well too, about what I'm editing. So today, you see this background. I'm about to use this background up to do my e-courses because it's time just to level up. You know, it's time to
Yeah.
level up and just refocus my energy.
That's good. I've been doing the same thing last week and this week. And the crazy part was I had so much adversity last week when it came to actually putting my course together. But I did not get discouraged because for me, I've been, especially starting entrepreneurship a couple of years ago, I feel like every time I try to do something, there's
Hmm.
always like this thing that just comes like a whirlwind, a storm that just comes and tries to break everything down. I remember when I
Hmm.
wrote my first book, I would be trying to edit the book for hours on end,
Let's
and I
talk
would
about the
be
first
sitting
book.
there.
You got multiple books? Is that what you're saying?
Listen,
Is that what you're saying?
multiple. The first one, I was crying. Josh, I was like this in front of the computer crying because I did not know how to figure out, because I wasn't that tech savvy. I didn't know
So
how to figure out the issues, and everybody that I called couldn't help me. And I would just be sitting at the computer crying. I was like, I don't care what is going on. I'm going to have to push through that. And last
that's
week,
good.
that's how I felt about my course. But I still kept pushing through. I still kept recording. And this week, I found a better platform, and things are going so much easier than it
Dope.
did last week, but I didn't give up. And that's part of being mentally fortified that we're going to talk about today. You have to have the mentality to fail and get back up again.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. So like going pick it back with that part, along with your mindset, like fortifying it, the whole topic is how do you overcome adversity, in tough times.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, in talking about Bible, it talks about how no weapon formed against you will prosper. Like there are so many weapons
Mm.
every day. The atmosphere is producing weapons
Come on.
that's meant to really not break you, but to show you who you really are. I
Ooh,
always feel
that's
like,
good.
when you go through certain moments of adversity, it shows you who you really are. Like, a lot of times too, you can have all these exciting moments, but then you don't really take time to really like you have to have a test. Like that's like going to
Yes.
school and you never have any tests. If
Yes.
you don't have a test, how do you validate what you learn?
Come
So
on.
when it comes to what we work on, like even too, like with my content, I'm like, yo, Jay, you said that you was gonna do X, Y, and Z. So you didn't pass the test last week because your content was all over the place. So what
Yeah.
I'm learning too is that you have to, when it's adversity, like this life happens, and so when
Mhm.
people tell me about their day, they tell me about what they're going through. One thing about me, at the end of that conversation, if you keep complaining, we gotta talk about, so what we gonna do about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sympathetic, but then we turn to the empathetic side because at the end of the day, one thing about life is it's all about how you overcome. It's about your
Yeah.
response to the action. It's not
Yeah.
about what happened to you. It's about how you respond to it because your
Yeah.
response will dictate how you move forward in the future. Because if you don't respond the right way, or if you don't respond the most productive way, because I don't think there's no right or wrong way to respond. If you don't respond in the most productive way, you'll realize that you'll not reach the levels that you're supposed to reach because you're not constantly moving and you're not passing tests and you're gonna keep going over the same test over and over again. It's
Mm.
not that the
Good.
product didn't sell. Did you do X, Y, and Z to get it right? I had a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
conversation, the other day about like with my coaching clients, like how with people that coach me, it's just that like how do you know this system works? I'm like, if you follow them A to Z and
Mm-hmm.
you really have the right mindset, you're not going to fail. But the thing about it is, we don't really. Sometimes we'll skip. I don't want to really do B. I don't want to do B. I want to go to C. But then B was the pivotal point that really gave you the endurance you needed to really get to the next level.
That's so good. Following the blueprint. And but we have to realize that our mindset needs to be renewed and changed because we live in a society that says individuality is where it's at. And
Mm,
although it is where it's at, we don't have a balance of being individuals that live in a community. We either want to
that's good.
choose to be the individual and stand out, or we want to choose to blend in and be in the community. And we don't realize it has to be a merging of the two. You have to be able to follow as well as lead in order to be successful in this arena. And I love that you brought it back to reflection, that you took time out to reflect on what was working and what was not working. And I tell my clients all the time, it's great to have information. It is. I am a information junkie. I will go and I will binge watch something. Like I just started another business course. I'm like, why did I do that again? And that requires like 3 hours a week to sit down and be focused so I could get it done within a 6 week time period. But
Sure.
if I don't take the information and apply it, then nothing is going to happen. And if I want acceleration, I don't just need information and application. I need to self reflect on what
That's
wasn't
good.
going right. So when you constantly go through the process of getting the information, applying the information, and reflecting on it, then you can move through that faster. And what the coaches have done by creating the blueprint is they've already given you the information. They've already applied it numerous amount of times. They've already reflected and tweaked it over and over again. So now that
Yes,
you can just come through and go through this process and get the results. But a lot of us wants to stay the individual. I want to hold on to my thinking
that's
and
good.
my mindset because this is my way of doing it and my works. And then you realize you're still broke.
When I say that's so good that she was out here dropping gems just now, professional gem dropper. Like the reason why what you just said was so important is it goes back to just being coachable. And I
Yes.
think too is I was talking to one of my mentors, you know, and I think about when she first came out like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, the mindset wasn't collaboration like it is today in
Mm-hmm.
this time of social media and stuff like that. So when it came to her era, you had to be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people say lonely at the top, I don't agree with that because
Oh.
in this society, we're creating a platform that it doesn't have to be lonely at the top because we're all
Mm-hmm.
working together to get there together. For example, when Natalie and I first got reconnected in this podcast situation, she was working on stuff, I was working on stuff, but it was individual. You
Mm-hmm.
know, now it's like let's collab on something and let's
Mm-hmm.
both grow our brands. And it's been super dope because I look
It
forward to
has.
Wednesdays.
I know, right? Me
Like
too.
this is like my business church session because you know it's like a weekly fill up. But no, it's true because what
Yes,
happened is too is like when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes it does feel like you're alone. It does feel
it
like no one
does.
understands you. It
It
does
does.
feel like relationships don't work out because people don't get what you're trying to work on. You know
Yes.
that sometimes like children don't understand. It's so many reasons why things feel like it doesn't work. But as an entrepreneur, when you have that cohort of people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that pie gives you that motivation that we're all gonna make it together. So I love the fact that it's just like I can connect with my sister Natalie, my brother Lewis, Spears,
Mm-hmm.
Halima. Like I have a whole
Yes,
cohort of
you
people that is
do.
like I never have to worry about feeling alone in that alone in adversity. Like even before we
Mm-hmm.
started this podcast, I was venting to Natalie about something. It's not really smooth, you know, it wasn't crazy,
Mm-hmm.
but we spoke about it. She gave me some great sound advice, which I already knew what she was going to say. But sometimes you got to hear from somebody
Yeah,
else
you
because it
do.
gives you that motivation you need. But when it comes to just like developing, developing yourself through adversity, it's so great to have a pot of people
It
where you
is.
can really call and like, yo, Natalie, this is what I'm going through, and it understands it. You know, like it's like
Mm-hmm.
family. I understand you.
I
You know, I get it. Like I get how you got to rob Peter, pay Paul, and rub two nickels together to make $1 million. I get
yeah.
it. You know, but it's nice when someone. So when you have those adversity moments, it's so great when you can really have a cohort of friends that you can work
Mhm.
with in entrepreneurship, so you don't have to feel alone.
That's so good. And I love that you talk about how you can come and get words of affirmation from me, which is my love language. It's so funny. But I I love how you, and this is why I have people like you around me, you just do. You
Yeah.
don't hesitate. Even if it doesn't work out, you're like, okay, misstep here, go back to it, do it again. You don't take too long mulling over things. And
Yeah.
for too long, I had been around people that are so cautious. And yes,
Mm.
being cautious is good, but a lot of times being cautious is fearful. And you cannot
Yes.
operate in this realm of entrepreneurship. And when I say realm, become successful
Hmm.
entrepreneur and be fearful. You have to make those decisions that are going to scare the crap out of you. that's going
Yeah.
to be like, man, I lost $10,000 last year. Yeah,
Listen,
that's the type
I
of
know the vibe.
decisions you're gonna
I
have
know
to
the
make.
vibe.
And
In the
then be
first
like,
three
you know
months, I
what?
lost like
Yeah,
20K. And it's just
20K.
like, when you think about stuff like that, it's just like, you really want to, when you think about it, you really want to break down and cry a little bit. Like, I could have
Yes.
used that for X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, it makes you realize that when you change your focus and your mindset about, like, for example, it's like going to the eye doctor. You know, they say, is this better? Is this better? They're always
Mm-hmm.
checking your vision. But a lot of stuff, if you really realize that some stuff you do is a seed,
Mm-hmm.
you just keep watering it and you start to
Yeah.
really learn how to
Yeah.
expect the
Yeah.
harvest. Like, some things, it's not that you really lost out on it. It's not that you really didn't make it or you didn't win. You had to go through that phase to sow that seed. So it may
Yeah.
be 5 months, 5 years, 10 years, two
Mm-hmm.
years, you'll reap the harvest of it. There are
Mm-hmm.
seeds that I sowed 10 years ago, 20 years ago that I'm just receiving the manifestation of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But it took me not focusing on the pain attachment to
Yes.
what I didn't
Yes.
seem to be successful at.
Yes.
Because it's always about the visual. If you keep changing your mindset about stuff and the visual, how it looks, you start to
Mm-hmm.
realize that, hey, this was really meant for my good.
Yes, it is.
This was meant for my purpose. Like, the fact
Yep.
that in college, I only stayed up in Johnson Wells for 5 weekends because I was going back home to run my business, help take care of my grandmother, to work at 2 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at a lot of people that I was surrounded with, that I went to college with, I'm basically retired and they're just getting into their industry. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I
So it's
do.
like, don't despise the small beginnings. My mom always says that, because when you're sowing seeds into your future. So
Mm-hmm.
just be mindful of whatever you're doing now is sowing seeds into your future.
It is. And that's how you stay motivated when you have those adverse times.
Yeah.
Running with those people that are like-minded in the fact that they know what it takes to be successful in this
Mhm.
business. You have to be, like we said earlier, mentally fortified. You have to have a strong mindset. You have to be willing to lose $20,000 and then get back up and be like, I'm gonna make 50. Like,
Yeah.
that's the mindset that you have.
Point
Like,
blank
I'm gonna
period.
make 50. I'm gonna make 20 times 100 more. You have to have that mindset. And a lot of people look at entrepreneurs and be like, you are so crazy. But you have to be a little bit crazy to
Definitely.
venture out into some place that you've never seen before and decide, I'm gonna be the first to see it. I'm seeing it in my mind, and I'm gonna be the first to see it happen, so that other people can see what's resting in my mind. And I love Shonda. Like, you talked about Shonda, she's going to be on the Boss Up series. But when I entered into the space, when we had the first Boss Up boot camp, and I saw the before, because you sent me the pictures of before, and we walked into that
Oh,
space, I was like, my God, the transformation was ridiculous. And I was like, Shonda, I literally walked into your mind, because my imagination did
Mhm.
not produce that. I saw what I saw. But now that she transformed my thinking based on what she thought, now
That's
I see
good.
the space differently. Now I can enter into a space and see things differently. And this is what, staying motivated in adversity means. You got to see what you don't see. Adversity, when you think of adverse
That's good.
situations, you think of things that are falling apart, the storm, people not connecting with you. You have to start thinking what it could be like when things are actually going great, when things are smooth. So doing like these journaling that you was talking about, and I love visualization. Let me say that right. So I have an activity that I do. I don't do it every day, but I do it most days out of the week. And I would just sit down and I would dream, close my eyes,
Mhm.
and think about what it's gonna feel and look and even smell like when I'm successful. When I'm
Yeah,
sitting
that's
at
good.
my desk, when I'm the CEO in my, company in the high rise or whatever, what does it feel like? What am I
Mhm.
wearing? That's how I wrote my book. So I
Yeah,
sat down for months at a time, and the Holy Spirit, God actually told me to do this because I didn't know this was possible. And he would say, I want you to visualize what it's like to be an author. What do
that's
authors
good.
do? If you're going to go at Barnes and Nobles, you have to sign books. I need you to sit here and think about yourself signing a book. And how
That's
would you
good.
talk to the people that were in line? Would you take pictures? And all of this is going through my mind. I didn't know COVID was going to hit. I didn't know all of that was going to happen, but it brought me closer to my destination because I had a visual picture in my mind of what I wanted to see. And that's what we need to do. Part of it to stay motivated is visualize what's after the adversity, not
Oh
what's
yeah,
in the adversity.
that's so good. You know, it's so funny because I go back to I started going to Creflo Dollar Church when I was like 12, so about
Mm-hmm.
like 20 years I've been going there, and I love my pastor, like, because
It's
the way
amazing.
he just teaches and break things down, it just really changes your. He preached a series in 2013 about imagination. I still watch at least once a week
That's
because
good.
when you think about imagination, right? We talk about when imagination. So in the Bible, imagination was first talked about at the Tower of Babel. So,
Mm-hmm.
or Babel, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Right.
made it so dope was these people had in their mind that they wanted to build a tower that reaches to heaven, right? They said in their mind they imagined this. They never actually produced it in their mind, but it caused God to get so much. They got God's attention because of
Mm-hmm.
how in their mind
Mm-hmm.
they started building this to reach heaven. And when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to your thoughts and your dreams, you have to be so focused on how will this reach where I need to be? What will help me
Yeah.
reach this heavenly place I want to see? For
Yeah.
some people, like, they say like heaven on earth, like, oh, this feels like
Mm-hmm.
heaven. Like, maybe that might
Yes.
be going on
Yes.
vacation once a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes your heaven may be having a certain amount of money in your bank account. Your heaven may
Mm-hmm.
be being the first person to own a home in your family. Like, I don't know what your heaven may be. I don't know what your imagination level will be, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the key part about it is you have to be so strategic about your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, like with Boss Up, I was going to talk about something totally different about purpose, but it's just like as an entrepreneur, if you never take time to dream and to visualize how it smells,
Yeah.
how it feels,
Yeah.
like sometimes the reason why you can't get what you want is because you never even imagined it inside of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
When, especially if you never experienced that, like for example, is I always said I wanted to have certain properties and stuff like that, but I'd never been in a mansion before, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's when, beginning of 2020, when I really started traveling, with my mentors, and everywhere we stayed was a mansion. I started to feel it more because now I understood it. Like, okay, oh, this is how it feels, or this is how it feels to be in a luxury car. Like sometimes you have to go test drive. If you believe in God for a car, or you want to experience it, go to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the place where it's of abundance. So oftentimes we say the place of lack because we dwell in areas of a lack of imagination. Like a
Yeah.
lot of my friends from high school, we're not friends anymore because, like, I'm talking about big ideas, and what ideas not big to me, it seemed like it's impossible. But I'm like, well, this is my reality. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to really producing your imagination, you have to be so strategic about really planning, like saying, no, this is what I'm gonna do. Like I feel it. Like I feel it. Like even to my steering wheel. I remember when I was leaving God for I was leaving God for, I forgot what I was leaving for. But I take my business cards to my steering wheel, and I take pictures of what I want. Now the steering wheel was about this big, the piece, but
Mm-hmm.
I taped everything that I was believing for on that steering wheel. The reason why I did it was because every time I get in my car, I look down to see the goal. I look down and see
Mm-hmm.
the manifestation because I want to manifest that. But so oftentimes we don't keep our dreams in visual places. If your
Yeah.
refrigerator, if you like to eat you in the refrigerator all the time, put them goals on the refrigerator because you want
Yeah.
to go wherever you're going to see it the most. Because now I use it as a touch and agreement point that no, I believe I received the finances to fund my business, and I tap it because I'm seeing the visual of my business in front of me. But we have to be so
Oh.
strategic about really putting it in front of us. If you're believing to get a new job, what kind of job you want? How much you want to
Mm-hmm.
make? Write it
Mm-hmm.
down and put it in places where you're always going. If you're in the mirror all the time, put it in the mirror. So every time you see the mirror, you start speaking to those goals and your dreams, but it's never in front of you. How do you expect to level up if you don't keep the vision and the dream ahead of you or in front of you?
Yes, that is so good. That is so, so good. And it just reminds me of this neuroscientist that I follow, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he
Mm-hmm.
talks about your imagination. Like your brain does not know the difference between your imagination and reality. So
Yeah.
when you spend a lot of time, and people always say that you daydream too much, or you spend your too much time in your imagination and stuff like that. And really, that's not accurate. We don't spend
Mm-hmm.
enough time in our
That's good.
imagination, because he says that when you spend time in your imagination and your brain doesn't know the difference between the two, what your brain is trying to do is trying to get you from where you are to what you see.
Hmm.
in your mind's eye. So if you constantly just see what's here, then you're like, okay, I've arrived to where I'm at. But if you're visualizing something else different, your brain is saying, what strategies do I need to implement to get to this vision that I keep seeing in my mind's eye? Because to me, that's the reality. And so spending your time in your imagination and your vision actually gives you a target for your mind to aim to.
Hmm.
And we don't realize how important it is. Like, this is a scientific fact. A lot of times people just pass it off as, oh, it's the Bible or it's Christian or whatever, this new age, whatever stuff, that the
Yeah.
mental thinking, but it's actually scientific. Like, the neurons and the electrons in your brain are actually wiring to go to the vision that you see in your mind, because it can't tell the difference between the two. So now we have to be strategic, like you said, with our imagination. And I remember you said thoughts we have no control over, but our imagination we do have control over.
Yeah.
We can put the picture that we want to see in our mind. This is
Yeah.
why writing down those words are so important, because our words frame our future. I'm gonna have to go deep with y'all in as far as getting into the Bible. I'm sorry, Josh, and open it up. But in the beginning, God said, and there was. That was the framework. You talked about coaches having a framework. Let's look at God as the greatest coach that ever lived. He came and he gave us a blueprint. God said, and there was. God said there was light, and there was light. God said there was, he, split the day from the night, and there was day and night. God said, and there was. The only thing God never said that he actually put his hand on was man.
Hmm. Yeah.
Everything else, every animal, every tree, everything was spoken into existence. And so, if we are made, because we are made in the image and likeness of God, when we speak, we have the power to bring those
Hmm.
things into existence. The only thing that's missing is the faith and the belief system that what we say will actually come into play. That belief is like a engine. You can,
That's good.
you got the what do you call it? The key, which is your words, you turn it on, but that belief system, that faith is the engine that makes that car work. And so we got to get some fuel. We got to get our engine working by believing that what we say is actually going to come into place. And you can even check yourself. I want y'all to, all of y'all who are on this live, I want you to check your belief system. Whatever you say, do you have any actions to back up what you say? If I
That's
say
good.
that I am the number one clarity coach in America or on Clubhouse or whatever, do I have any actions to back that up? And I'm not talking about just receipts, because y'all like to talk about receipts. Oh, did you how many clients do you have? All the other stuff. Yeah, okay. How many hours do you actually study in your craft? You say you want to be, selling all of this stuff on Shopify. How many hours do you actually spend thinking about marketing?
That's
Studying
good.
marketing, studying the psychology behind marketing. How many
Yeah.
hours do you spend working your business? How many hours do you spend on your website? You have
Hmm.
to look at your actions. Look at your schedule. If you say, you're gonna be the salesperson, you're gonna sell all this stuff. Look at your schedule. Do you have anything in your schedule that says that you're selling, that you're posting on Instagram, that you're
That's
posting
good.
on Facebook? Your actions determine what you really believe. And if you don't believe it, now it's time to change. What am I saying that's not in,
That's good.
alignment with what I actually think I believe?
You was dropping so many gems right
I'm
there
sorry,
because
but it's just
I should have my notepad like you be having down. Uh, First thing that I heard that you say was check your belief system.
yes.
Uh, so sometimes people have imagination, but what happens is what starts to deteriorate your imagination is realities that you place that don't belong to you.
That's right.
So like think about as a kid, like you have that childlike faith, you're so excited about this stuff. What happens is life starts to happen. But
Mm-hmm.
whose life and who made that part of your life a
Come
reality?
on.
So when it comes to that part about your reality, your focus needs to change because if you don't take time to check your belief system, you miss out on those key because it takes it's just little things that people don't pay attention to that messes up their brain. Once you got a
Yeah.
drop of unbelief into your faith system, it can one drop turn it's like a leak. It's like one little drop, another drop, but then drops make puddles and puddles make rivers. And once you don't really take time to really kind of check your unbelief system, you start wondering why things aren't really processing or really growing is because you didn't go back to the things that always worked. Like when it comes to moments in my business, I realize that I'm failing at. Josh, what did you do the first time you did it, but you're not doing this time?
Yes.
And sometimes it's just that I don't believe the same way because I get so comfortable with my gift that
Come
I don't
on.
realize it's a gift. So the thing that you do in your business is you can't ever get comfortable in your business where you don't treat it as it's something to be special to you, you know? And then another part that you said, which is really good, just going back over with just checking your beliefs and stuff like that. A lot of times too, some things just don't work because you're not working it. You know, you also brought up the point about just like you check your daily activities, right? I spend more time at this part of my career doing content than I actually do cooking. So literally, I spend about 5 days a week doing content, and I work 1 to 2 days a week. But it's because I know that there's certain things I need to really work on. Like I already know the food part is there, the taste and the flavor
Come
is there.
on.
But the part that's missing is Jay, you didn't post enough, or you didn't make eye-appealing content. Like one of my mentees, I'm really proud of Shamar. Shamar's posting stuff about his fitness page. Make sure you follow him. I can't think of his page name, but it's I gotta figure out his business name. But the thing about Shamar, I said, Shamar, you're not giving a call and response. So a lot of people have content, but your content doesn't lead people to spend with you because you just posted it and you didn't tell them the call was. So the post was the post. The call is, hey guys, you're looking to work out, you're looking to grow in this area. Join me for a fitness class at this time, or DM me, or click the link in my bio to learn more. So now you have to give people calling equal to business. Like for me, like a lot of times if I'm having like a brunch, I always put on the actual post, not the words, but I put the words on the actual the picture.
Yeah.
You know, looking to plan a private exclusive dining experience.
That's good.
Click the link in the bio. If you don't give
That's
people
good.
directive with that, so people are like, oh, I didn't make money this week, but what was the directive you gave your clients?
Yeah.
What was the directive you gave your potential clients? Even on the plane when I was flying out here, this is a call and response from my hat. So this
That's
brand
good.
thing gives me so much business. I was on a plane. I didn't know what the flight attendant was talking about. She was like, "Yeah, chef, you didn't even bring." No, she said you didn't even bring ribs yesterday. Like, what is this lady talking about? I don't know this lady. But she said, "Aren't you Chef Jay?" So, but it's because I took time to
Yes.
get 20 hats that got Chef Jay on it, so that every time somebody sees me, this is a branded
That's
strategy.
good.
So it's like when Natalie said a part about what are you doing in your daily business, do y'all even got apparel with your business name on there? Like
This is
I would
so right.
you'll never catch me wearing anybody else's brand that ain't promoting Chef Jay. Right? Everything on me right now is promoting Chef Jay. This is promoting the Boss Up Boot Camp. This is promoting what I do.
Let's
So a lot of times,
go.
so you wonder why you're not growing. Do you have apparel in your name? You know, it's like, what are you doing to really grow your business? And you wonder, like, it's just like sometimes it's not that you're not winning, you're not doing the right things to win. You know, it's just like, think about even like any athletes out there. You guys know before y'all go into the game, the coach is giving the blueprint. He's giving the whole play.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is sometimes we don't take time to create the play, to meditate on the play, to imagine the play. So when it's time to really produce, you never took time to look at your plan. So this way, you don't know what you got to edit because you never started nothing at the beginning. So it's like, how do you expect to grow when you didn't go back to the beginning? You have no foundation to stand on. The house is not built on quicksand. The house is built on a sturdy foundation. So you really want to grow, you got to analyze yourself. How can I grow? What do I need to go back to? But some people don't got a plan, so it's like, what? You don't got nothing to go back to. Because
Wow.
you just frolicking around with no purpose.
Frolicking around with no purpose, no aim, no direction. Oh, that's so good. Look, I have to jump on this part because I feel like a lot of us, we look at adversity and we think of it in with a negative connotation, a negative perspective. But as an entrepreneur, it's literally weights. It's to build us up. Like adversity really comes to check what you believe.
Yeah,
Do you really believe that you are going to make 6 figures this year? Do you really believe that you're going to have a successful company? Do you really believe that you're not going to fail at this company yet again or at this business yet again? And so adversity comes, like you said, Chef Jay, ain't no teacher out here not giving any tests. We need to know what you actually know. And so adversity is your test for entrepreneurship. Do you really believe what you keep saying, what you keep putting out in the atmosphere, what you say, I'm going to be manifesting? Do you really believe that? Because it starts with a belief system, your why. Why are you even doing this in the first place?
Yeah.
What's the point? And that has to be that has to to be the thing that you revisit, like Chef Jay says. You have to revisit that over and over again so that you can stay motivated, because it's not a matter of if adversity comes, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
When will it come? If you did any I've been in business courses, like I said, I do the free ones on edX.org because I ain't paying for it right now. I will at some point, but not today. And so when it comes to
What's that site
business,
again, too?
edx.org.
Okay.
edx.org. Yeah, they have different free business courses from Harvard, from Yale, different schools or whatever, and you can pay to get the certificate, or you can just go for free. Right now I'm going for free. So they talk about business. There's a cycle when it comes to entrepreneurship and the ecosystem of business itself, and they go through a recession. They go through what's the other thing? Not a recession, but what is the other word? Lord, I forgot it. When you have like just everything is working well, and then there's the pre-recession. So there's 3 cycles. I need to get that. Once I get it, I'll get it to you guys. But there's 3 cycles in there, and they're talking about us going into a recession right now. But if you know that there's cycles to the thing, like if you understand there's an ecosystem when it comes to business, then these things won't take you off guard. Like some people for the 2008, the recession, that thing wiped many of us out. Like we were not prepared because we didn't know the signs, but there were entrepreneurs that were. There were entrepreneurs that were prepared for the 2008 recession. Like even with COVID happening, there were entrepreneurs that were prepared for catastrophe because they had been through it in 2008 and they knew how to pivot. That adversity that happened in 2008 prepared them to pivot. They didn't go under forever. They came back, and when COVID hit, they were like, oh, I've seen this before. How do I maneuver? How do I pivot around this thing? There are some people that came into entrepreneurship when COVID hit, and they were able to make thousands, millions of dollars during that time within the last 2 years. Let's look at Pinky Cole. She started her business in 2018. She's now a billionaire 4 years later with vegan products. She has a limited selection, at a limited menu at her restaurant, but she's able to make billions of dollars because she spent time with her dream. She failed. She said her restaurant burned down a couple of years before. She was working out of somebody else's kitchen another time before, but now she's a multi-billion-dollar owner of several branches of her company, Slutty Vegan. So we have to understand, like, this is just the path that we will have to endure. How are we prepared to move through it? How are we prepared to keep ourselves motivated even in the midst of adversity? We got to figure that out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just that was really good. It's a show called like Foods That Have Built America, and so it's a story about so everybody knows General Mills and Post and stuff like that, and Bird's Eye in the frozen department. So Bird's Eye, I love his story. Bird's Eye invested in frozen foods before refrigeration was even in supermarkets.
That's crazy.
Most of America didn't have refrigeration, and he created frozen food, right? So his adversity was, how do I even get the product out when nobody got refrigerators and freezers? So Post, the daughter of Post, what she did was she was going around. She was like a Madam C.J. Walker of the era, you know, with her creative and her mindset. So what she did was she was going around different cities and just acquiring businesses and just revamping it, and then the people would sell it to her. But the guy from Bird's Eye was like, no, I don't want to sell it to you. I want to still keep a percentage of it. So what they did was they went into all the parts of America and they installed frozen and refrigeration inside of every supermarket for free.
Wow.
When they did that part, it was now every store had a refrigeration, which means now they were able to sell frozen food. Now Bird's Eye is the #1 largest frozen food distributor in the world. But the crazy part about it is he was so ahead of his time. Like, he's making frozen food when most of America does not even have a refrigerator. You get what I'm saying? So some inventions that you have, some ideas that you have, is going to be before time, right? But it doesn't mean that it's not right for you. It's just about finding ways to make it work when it's time to when it's ready to go. Adversity will always come. And adversity seems to happen at the right moment when you need to, at the wrong moment when you're
I know,
working on
right?
something. But it happens. But guess what? It's actually the perfect time for you because now when
Mm.
adversity comes, it helps you pivot and prosper, or it helps you, or it makes you fail. But the thing about it is, the time doesn't change of your moment for success. It's about how you handle adversity. You know, like the fact that these people literally said, you know what, the way we're going to do this is by putting a frozen food in a refrigerator in every store
Mm-hmm.
for free. You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have to be so and you have to be so innovative, even when it seems like innovation, like nobody is going to help you. You have to always think about ways to be innovative, even when it seems like you have no way out. There's certain times like when COVID happened, I was like, okay, wait, hold on now, because you know I'm about to quit my job. I already know I was about to leave the job, and I'm like, because I didn't want we had to go to the classroom and still teach verses. I'm like, I'm not driving 25 minutes to talk to a student. That's just not
Yeah.
for me. I already know that part. So what happened was COVID happened, and I said, but how am I gonna make money because all my gigs were canceled.
Yeah.
So then I took like a month off working on the plan. Next, you know, we started going back to the dinners. I ain't sold dinners in like 12 years.
Yeah.
I went back, like, I'm like, you know, but then next, you know, they lifted the ban to do events. So like maybe like I sold dinners for 2 months because I had to make sure my staff had money because you know I had to make sure that was the case. But then once June hit, everybody wanted to have a private event, so they would take a
Yeah.
COVID test. The year of
That's good.
2020 was my highest year sales because nobody wants to go out to the public. They came to me for private function for, you know, like small crowds. I'm like, yo, like the fact that, you know, sometimes it may seem like it's not working for you, but you gotta go back to the drawing board, just
Yeah.
revisit because some things are before its time. But it doesn't mean you gotta stop working on it because you want to be so prepared that when it's your moment to elevate, you got everything like right here. Okay, I'm ready. You know, you don't want to wait too late when it's your moment. So in your season of adversity, in your season of not being exposed, in your season of not being the it person, have yourself ready. Have your ish together so when it's time for you to pivot and prosper, you got the blueprint already out.
That's so good. That's why you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Listen,
Andy Minio said that. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Look, I had to research real quick and get y'all that information. So the cycles of the economy is expansion, peak, recession, and if the recession lasts too long, it becomes a depression. So a lot of people are talking right now about we're getting into this, recession. Y'all got to get prepared because there's a recession coming. But when you actually understand business, when you've done some research, you can see the signs. And that's what I was trying to say ahead of time. And you just tapped into it when you said you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared and you got to understand everything is not for that particular time. You got to be aware. Listen, even Jesus said to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, he was like, y'all know when the rain is going to fall. You can tell the weather, but you can't tell when the Son of Man is going to come back. Like, you don't understand what the times are saying right now. And we need to be aware. I'm the type of person, I don't like watching the news at all because it's like a whole lot of negative information out there. But I will go and I will have bite-sized information of it so it doesn't overwhelm me, so I can actually know what is going on. I have to ask my husband all the time. Look, I seen this on Instagram. What's going on? He be like, "Oh yeah, that's ABC XYZ."
He be so there, and I be so chill with it. Like, I already broke it down. It's just this. It's just that. You
Listen, he told me about the verses with Mario and Amarion. I was like, wait, what happened? Because
that was hilarious.
I don't keep up with the culture as much as I should, but I still have to tap into it so I can know what's going on. I still have to survey the land, field out what's going on. And a lot of us, we just be in our own little island. Like we were talking about earlier, we want to be so individual and want to stand out so much that you stand so much outside of the culture that nobody wants to bring you in. Nobody wants to be
nobody knows you. Nobody knows you.
Like, who you? I remember telling a friend that. She was like, nobody bought our thing. Nobody joined our whatever. I was like, don't nobody know us. That's why nobody joined. We gotta be known.
That's funny. That's real funny. But it's true though. People have these super dope brands, but nobody know about you because you're afraid to promote. I realize too is like, and I know sometimes my page can get really salesy, but it's just like it can get really salesy my page, like, and I can't help it sometimes. But it's like, listen, I gotta pay these bills. But the thing about it is, it's better to be seen with your
Yeah,
business than not seen. Exposure is
you're
everything.
right.
And
You're
now you
right.
can't pay me an exposure. I will say that. Do not try right now. Don't offer exposure to pay me. But I will say though, like when it comes to exposure, like you have to expose your business so much. Like turn a light onto your business. Like nobody can see.
Ooh.
Like so many people business is in the dark, but see once I magnify it, you see how bright it got. That you can see that
Wow.
there's something. You can see the glare, but everybody's business is so like nobody know who you are because you just never promoting it, never talking about it. Listen, just shine the light on your business and your brand and your giftings. It doesn't matter if somebody else is doing it. Everybody got skincare is a $1 billion industry. So what that somebody else got it out there? Put yours on too. Like
Mm-hmm.
just put yourself on. Like I've never waited for somebody to put me on. You know what I'm
That's good.
saying?
You
Like
have
I
not.
never waited. Like to be on somebody's platform. What? I gotta
Yeah,
wait for you to
you
do that?
so
Create my
true.
own and put my friends
Yes,
with me. Boss Up was in my head 2 years ago,
it
and
was.
but now it's like, yo, no, I'm promoting my friends, and we're gonna come together and make something dope. So it's just like when it's adversity, it feels like it's not working. Put your own stage on. Like if you want to be seen, like why you gotta wait somebody put you in a movie? Make your own movie yourself. There's so many apps on phones and computers that you can make whatever you want to make. You want to be a star? Make your own movie. Like it ain't that
I love that.
serious. Like I think sometimes we wait for the perfect moment to be discovered. It's no perfect moment. There's never going to be a perfect moment for you to start moving and operating in your gift. Just start. And it's okay if it's a little cockeyed. Like the first cake I made
Hmm.
that made me want to be an entrepreneur, it was crooked. It was lopsided. But the thing about it was like, okay, so what? It was delicious. All I could do, okay, now I learned, you know what, Josh? When you bake it, you gotta tap the cake down so it
Come
levels out.
on.
Next thing is, okay, if it's not level, you gotta cut it evenly. Next, okay, you can't open the oven too much because it messes up the baking process. Some stuff you just learn on the job training. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like college is great, right? But college don't prepare you for real life stuff.
Hmm.
So it's like you need the real world experience. So this way, it's just like you can, like, for some people say they'll be like, oh, I'm a doctor of this, or I'm a licensed psychologist, or I'm this, but your license don't make you valid. The reviews do.
Ooh.
So when even as a chef, there's so many people that went to culinary school to become a chef, but it's just like they're not operating their gift. Like for me, I constantly, purposely move in my God-given gifting. So when it's time for me to be exposed, I'm ready to go. Like with this whole content, I've been making content for years, but now the right people can see in myself, and now they're like, yo, I got an offer to go to Dubai for my content. I thought it was because they want me to be a chef, but it was like, no, we want you to record content of this event. I'm like, in Dubai, it's just crazy because I'm like, yo, I've just been practicing my content showing up. But the fact that somebody wants me to fly to Dubai to record content for an event, and I'm not technically a filmography, whatever you call it, cinematic, whatever it is, videographer. But it's just like, yo, it don't matter because if you keep working on your craft, eventually it's gonna look good to somebody, and
Mm.
somebody's gonna want to spend their bread. But you have to show up. Stop saying what you can't do. Who cares what you can't do? It's like if you want to go. If you honestly, it's just like the richest place in the world is the grave because so many people have died without fulfilling any of their goals and their dreams.
Hmm.
They just went to the grave with all. I want to die empty. I don't want to have all these goals and dreams. And next you know, like all I go say, man, remember 20 years ago we said we're gonna do that. Remember 5 years ago we said we're gonna do that. Oh man, I should have did that. Oh man, I'm never gonna have no regret about anything. I'd rather be a flop and I try and now I have a better plan to do it next time than never try.
Mm. Or even worse, you see somebody else doing the thing that you wanted to do five
And be
years
like,
ago. You're like,
that was my idea. No, it wasn't. It wasn't yours because you didn't make the moves.
no, you didn't move on it. Ah. Oh man, that was good, Chef Jay. That was really, really good. You just like lit a fire under everybody. Y'all get out and move. Get out and move. Listen, if y'all looking for clarity, y'all need to get up and move.
Yeah, it's
Get
true.
up and move. And a lot of times I was talking to I think it was my husband yesterday. And we were talking and I'm like, I'm noticing that a lot of times we use coaches to as an excuse for why we're not moving. So we'll start saying, "Oh, the coach didn't do this, or the coach
Oh
didn't
yeah.
do that, or the coach did," and it's just like, no, boo, I can't walk the walk for you. All I can do is help you with the information, hold you accountable, but you got to do the moving yourself. You got to do the work, and
Yeah.
we really got to, y'all really got to do the work so that you can get where you need to be. Because listen, the world don't stop for nobody. It just keeps on rotating, keeps
Yeah.
on moving. The
With or
sun
without you.
rises this without you. So you might
So
as well move. Move, move, move. And you need to move on this Boss Up Boot Camp Summer Series. It is $29 for each session, 97 for all 4 sessions. So that is a steal. And you want to be there. It's going to be in Jersey City, right? Jersey
yeah.
City, New Jersey. I'm going to be one of the speakers, the very last one. So you got to close out with clarity. But I'm going to be zooming in. Thank God, Josh was like, "All right, I'll let you zoom in on this one. Appreciate it." But it's going to be phenomenal. You guys don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of this venture now, because this is the lowest tickets are going to be honest with you.
And that's
Like,
why I
it
tell
just
people,
keeps
listen,
getting bigger
to
and
today's
bigger.
price, tomorrow's price is not today's price, but everyone's
It's
closing.
not
Like we're trying to, it's like the entry level. We want people to really
entry
just
level.
to
Yep.
come up there. What up, bro? What up, man? How you doing, fam? Oh, that's my boy from out in Florida.
Hey,
But
Butler
yeah,
House.
so yeah, that chef, he's an amazing guy here. What up, Halima? Everybody coming in there. What
Hey,
up, fam? Where y'all been
Halima.
at? No, but yeah, so just going on, and Halima's one of our speakers talking about cryptocurrency. So the thing about the Boss Up Boot Camp is we're doing a summer series where it's 4 days. It's $29 a course, or you can pay for the whole month, the whole 4 series, which is going to be 100 like $97 for all these dope speakers. I'm like, fam, like we doing this because we really want people to grow, we want people to
We
learn. So
do.
Boss Up Boot Camp is so dope. Also follow the new page, um, Chef J's Boss Up Boot Camp. Listen, if you're looking to pivot in your business, like you have to invest in mentorship.
You
You
do.
know, why rack your brain looking up all the thousands of YouTube videos? You can go right to the source for $97 for 11 speakers is going to really kind of help you grow. When it comes to this life of entrepreneurship, you really got to find ways to always pivot and prosper because it's hard sometimes. But when you have a pod, when you have a circle of people who are helping you really grow together, I'd rather grow with my friends and we make mistakes together, but we learn together than than do it by myself. Like some things you don't have to do alone. You know,
You
there's so
do
many people
not.
that's assigned to you. There are people assigned to you to be friends with. There are people assigned for you to minister to. There's people assigned to you for them to speak into your life. But you want to always be really always working on bettering yourself. You know, life don't gotta be as hard as people make it. Like people be all low as me. I'm like, man, I just lost $20,000. You complaining about you don't got lunch money? Like, fam, like what I have to realize too is that that's their level of thinking, that's their perspective. But in this season of growth, you really want to start living on a higher playing field. You know, I'm living from a place of abundance, even if I don't see it in my bank account. I'm living from that place because I know that's where I belong. My current bank account, my current life situation
Ooh.
has nothing to do with where I live at mentally in my mind, my imagination. So it's like no matter what's going on, I'm going to operate from a place of abundance. I'm going to operate from a place not of lack. I'm always going to operate from the place where I want to be. No, I believe that I should be abundant. I believe that I deserve happiness. I believe whatever I believe I manifest because I operate from that place. The thing about victory, we always like so many people are trying to get victory when I already got the victory. I'm operating from a place of victory to get more of it. You get what I'm saying? Like
Listen.
I'm operating from a
Hmm.
place of where I want to be. Like I don't operate from a place of hardship because that's not my portion. Hardship is just what I'm going through right now, but hardship is not going to
Come
change where I'm
on.
at. So by coming to the Boss Up Boot Camp, by being around, you know, people like us and changing your circle, you start to see that no, we operate from a place of abundance, even if we don't see it, but by faith, we know that hey, I believe this thing. You know, I'm gonna talk about Halima right now. Halima's on live with us with her event space. Halima was talking about her event space for years. I
Hmm.
heard about event spaces because I was one of the catering involved. I didn't know the new lingo of event spaces. Halima believed that, and then at the last day of the year, the last week of the year, she manifested that in event space. So it's just like
Hmm.
when it comes to what you're believing for, you have to operate like you already got it. Halima went to so many events about event spaces, people thought she had an event space. because she talked like she had event space. She moved like she had event space. She operated in that place. So when she got it, people said, "Wait, you just got event space? We thought you had one already." But you have to operate from that place of abundance. So when it's time for you to receive it, you walk into it because you know it already belongs to you. But
Listen,
I'm gonna stop because I know.
No, that was so good. I got 3 minutes because I'm like, I have to add to that because you are like, you operate from the place of where you expect to be. And look how with Halima as the example, it's as if she's operating from being an event, having an event space, being the owner, and the event space had no other choice. There
That's
was no
good.
other recourse but for the event space to find her. How are you operating dictates what you believe, and what you believe dictates what you will see.
That's
You
good.
don't see it because you don't believe it and you're not operating in it. It's time to start operating, as Chef Jay said, from a place where you expect to be, not from a place where you are. And a lot of the times it has to do with your community. You got to leave them bums alone. Surround yourself with some eagles because you'll find yourself as an eagle acting like a pigeon, and you're not one of them. Get up from among them, says Jesus the Lord. That's, I think, a scripture verse. I don't know. But get thee from among them.
Yeah.
Stop acting like that. When you hang around dead people, you start to smell like them. You start to look like them and imitate them. It's time to wake up and walk with those that are living the life and the dream that you want to live as well, because they're a constant reminder. Chef Jay is a constant reminder for me. Get your stuff together, girl. You slowing down. You need to speed up a little bit more because that dude will run. And if he gets too far ahead of me, I won't be able to see him in the distance. I got to keep going too. And it's not like we're competing or I'm chasing him, but he's my marker. He helps me stay in alignment with where I'm supposed to be. Get around the right people. I'm sorry. Y'all need to get out from among your crowd and get around some different people. For real, for real.
All right, so we're going to wrap up this live because we got a little second win going on. At 56 minutes and 26 seconds.
1 minute for that.
Nah, fam. So a few call responses is definitely follow the new page for Boss Up, which is Chef Jay's Boss Up Boot Camp. Also, too, we're gonna open up virtual to the Boss Up Boot Camp, so you can catch it virtually or you can come in person. It's $29 each session, or you could buy the whole 4 sessions for $97. It's super dope. Next week, we're going to be talking about goal setting and confidence in your business. The week after that, we're talking about social media, marketing, and mental health. Because that's a really big topic that we're talking about. My boy is a licensed psychologist, Ibn Shakur, is going to be working on that part.
That's what's up.
And then the week after, the 2 weeks after that, in August, we're coming through with Halima and Teresa. We're going to talk about business funding, crypto, through business credit, as well as grant funding, and we're also going to be talking about how to look good on paper, because some of us are raggedy on paper. Like, creative writing for your business is important. You know, like even to the typos that you put on Instagram is getting tacky. Because I be catching myself. My friends, okay, I got to edit real fast. And then the final week with Natalie, we're going to be talking about clarity, how you show up to the marketplace, customer retention, and all that good stuff. On the last week, which is August 23rd. So we want to sign up for that. And then we have the other Boss Up Boot Camp that's going to be in October, finalize the location. And we're excited about that part. So listen, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Listen, you still have opportunity to share and like the feed, share the page, like on Instagram and YouTube, and Instagram, share it to other, anybody that you know might need this, just share it to them, because honestly, it's worth a listen, and we're just happy to be able to operate from a place of purpose and just share with you stuff we've been through. All right. So have a good week. Have it on purpose. Anything else, Natalie?
That's it.
All right. And if you're looking to coach with us, if you're looking for clarity coaching, click Natalie's DM. What's the website for you, Natalie?
NatalieLeeMartin.com.
Listen, there it is. And for me, coaching Chef Jay, the Chef Jay experience is for my coaching. Or you click the link in my bio. I have a survey for you to fill out, and we can help you into that place where you want to just be happy. All right. Yep. So have a good week.